Welcome to our daily reflection for this Friday, December 20th. We are only 5 days away from Christmas. We're getting so close. Keep up your Advent resolutions. In fact, intensify them if you can as we get ready. As we go into this weekend, I know there's going to be busyness, things you got to do at home to prepare for Christmas on the social level, at the home hosting level, and all that. But also prepare your heart. Spend a little bit more time. Guard and protect your prayer time so that you can really prepare your heart for Christmas. That's what matters most. God is giving us an invitation to draw closer to Him, so let's do it. Let's not waste that time. Now, the readings today are so beautiful, especially if taken all together. And so what I want to do is look at the lens of the gospel in light of the first two readings. So the first reading is a great prophecy of the Old Testament, famous indeed, and that's from Isaiah 7. Particularly verse 14, where Ahaz, who's of the line of David, is under great political duress, and he is trying to seek refuge in Assyria, a pagan ally. He's willing to make a covenant to them and swear by their gods. And Isaiah comes, and God, in a sense, begging, please ask me for a sign. Please come to me for a refuge. And Ahaz, with a false piety, says, well, far be it from me to put the Lord to the test. I won't ask the Lord for a sign, because he's set on this worldly political solution to his political problem. He doesn't look to the Lord. And oftentimes that's the temptation, isn't it? We have real world problems and we look to this world for their solution. We don't look above the world to God, and we don't put our trust in Him. And so God is begging Ahaz to trust Him, to turn to Him. And God is begging you in your life, throughout your life, to turn to Him, to trust Him for your this world problems. He wants to provide and be the solution. But we have to put our faith in Him. And so Isaiah tells him, look, ask for a sign as high as the heavens and as deep as Sheol. In other words, from heaven above to hell below, ask me for a big whopper sign, and I will give you that sign that you may have faith and trust in me. And Ahaz doesn't do it, but God says, I'll give you a sign, that I will not abandon the house of David, and I will fulfill my promises, in spite of the political plight that you are in the midst of the world. I will give you a sign, and that sign is, behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and you will call that child Emmanuel, which means God with us. God is not absent from the world. He's not above and beyond caring about our this worldly problems. He will be Emmanuel. And that's so beautiful and such an important lesson about Christmas. And so the Lord Himself will give you a sign. And then we have, when we think about this virgin, Psalm 24. And Psalm 24 is the question, who can ascend the mountain of the Lord? Who can go there? The one whose hands are sinless, right? And whose heart is clean. Well, who has the clean heart to be in God's presence? Who is sinless? Well, then we go to the gospel and read the gospel in light of Psalm 24's questions about who can be in God's presence, holy presence. Well, we find out the virgin in Nazareth, whom the angel Gabriel comes to, and he calls her Hail, full of grace, because she is without sin. She's immaculate. She's full of grace. She can be in God's presence, so much so that God will be conceived in her womb and God will be present in her because she is the one. So who can ascend the mountain of the Lord? Who can be in God's physical presence? The one who is sinless, the one whose heart is clean, and whose heart is cleaner and who is more sinless than the immaculate Virgin Mary. And that's why Gabriel is sent to Mary in Nazareth, to ask her to be the one who will bear God's child. The child born will be called Holy, the Son of God. And so the child that she will have will be Holy, the Son of God. And this fulfills exactly what was spoken about the virgin to Ahaz, that he will be called Emmanuel, because he will be God with us. So let's reflect on how Mary answers the question of Psalm 24 and the problem of the Old Testament. Who can abide in God's presence? The one who is sinless, who will bring the child, the Son of God, who will atone for all sin so that we too, like Mary the Immaculata, we too can be immaculate, washed in the blood of Christ, thanks to her babe, Jesus the Christ. That should give us hope to prepare our hearts for Christmas. May the Lord bless and keep you.
This daily reflection is brought to you thanks to the generous support of the Mission Circle. Join the Mission Circle to help Catholics worldwide understand, live, and share their faith. Sign up at missioncircle.org today.